Hi everybody, this is Liz with 143 Handmade, and I just thought I would do a quick little video today of some of my top tools. It ended up being 9. I was looking for 10, but you know, I could not find a 10th. Because I did not want to include things like book page and lace and the fibers that I use. I was trying to stick to just tools. So here's, glue of some sort, but this is my favorite glue. I also use a fair amount of just the generic, whatever the cheapest white glue is I can find at the time. I buy it by the big gallon. Because if I'm trying something new, a new technique or something like that, a lot of times I'll use the cheap glue to try it, and then after I figure it out, then I'll start using the Fabrifix to do it. But this is what I use almost always on camera. It dries really, really fast. If you get it someplace you don't want it, you can roll it off if you do it fairly quickly. If you don't do it quickly, then it builds up, and that's what this is. This is Fabrifix. But excuse me, my allergies have been bothering me. That's part of why I've been MIA the last week or so. So this is a little bit of a stinky glue. So if you're susceptible, if you're very sensitive to the smells of glues and things, I don't recommend it. I can't say enough good things about it. I'm not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by anybody at this point. But there's that, and then there's that's my favorite adhesive. The other way I bind things together is I use this, my Crocodile Big Bite. This is, here it is. Crocodile Big Bite 2, or it's just Crocodile 2 Big Bite, I guess is what the title is. We are memory keepers. It has 2 different size hole punches, the 1/8 and the 3/16 hole punches, as well as the brad setter, or it does all kinds of things actually. Eyelets and brads, eyelets and other things of that nature. I don't use that part very often. I usually just use the hole punches. But I really like this because this has the big bite, so you can put the whole book in to get that center hole. You can slide it all the way in. Obviously you can't get both ends. You do have to flip it around, but it's still, this is how I adhere things, is either with the eyelets. I don't know why I keep calling them brads, but either with the eyelets or by punching holes and then using brads. So there's that, and then just an Exacto Knife type knife. This one, the handle is Gordon brand. This is just from Harbor Freight. I go in and during the holiday season, they'll usually have a box. Actually, hang on, I think I have the box still. Yep. So this is the box that it came in, and I colored on this side because it's the side to tell me that that's the bottom. And then I took all the packaging out that came in it, so that way I could fit more stuff in here. But this has all the different handles that came with it. I have several different kinds of pre-mounted blades, tweezers. This is another sharp knife. And then on this side, I have this foam piece that I cut to fit in here. And then I glued this little tab on so I could get it out real easy. I like to stick my needles in here to keep them safe from my cats. Oh, and my cat's safe from them. But then, as you can see, I have all my other blades, just stuck in here. And I have a few pins and needles and things like that that have also made their way into my little sharps box here, as I think of it. So, but usually the box is sitting over on the shelf, and then the Exacto knife is in a cup holder that's, or a desk organizer little thing up there, just on the front of my desk. And then scissors, I have several different kinds of scissors. I really like these. I think this was a set of scissors. There's 3 of them, small, medium, and large scissors. But here's another set. What I really like about those scissors is how sharp the tips are. But if I'm going to be doing a lot of cutting for over a long period of time. I really like these. They have the spring action, so you're squeezing them instead of pulling them. And that really helps on wear and tear on the hand. So these are Fisker's brand. I don't know if any other brand does this right now. These are an old pair. I have several pairs of these, but so scissors. You just need to have a high quality pair of scissors that fits your hand well. That's the big thing. Just because this is my favorite doesn't mean that it should be yours. I'm just giving you, you know, a place to get started with by sharing this. So here's my little corner rounder, you know. So, you know, to make the corner of the paper round. I would love to get the Crocodile corner rounder. You know, that's one of the tools that's definitely on my wish list. Because this little guy, I mean, he's served me really, really well. And it makes a really nice, pretty corner and all. But it does get tiring. And I can only do like 1, maybe 2 sheets of paper at a time. I can't do, you know, any bulk anything. To where I have seen like Pam on the Paper Outpost and a couple other channels where they have the corner bite, the corner chomper, and they can cut through like stacks of paper. It's awesome. So a corner rounder of some sort. But even if you don't have the big fancy one, don't let that hold you back. You know, this one works great. It just, you know, it's one of those things that we work towards. So, and then I also use this a lot. This is my 1-inch hole punch. It's one of the few punches that I actually, these two are some of the few punches that I actually do use a lot. And I almost never use it as the full circle punch. I usually use it as that, as the thumb hole cutout. So those are some more of my favorite tools. This is a bone folder. It's all gluey and scratched and everything else, but excuse me, it's you know, it's an invaluable tool. You know, you can use it for all kinds of things. And moving on, ink. I happen to have a good supply of close to my heart exclusive inks. But these, honestly, these were purchased probably close to 20 years ago by my mom. And I've only ever bought like 3 ink pads. I bought a Versamark ink pad. I just bought a brand new black ink pad. And I had bought a couple of purple ones back when I was doing scrapbooking. But that was it. So like I've only ever bought like 4 or 5 ink pads ever. But I have probably close to 2 dozen. So because they're still good ink pads. They're still really, really juicy. My mom had purchased a lot. And when she did scrapbooking, and then when she passed away, a good chunk of her supplies were still in good condition, even though it had been a few years since she'd been able to use them. So that's what this is. But any ink will do. Any ink that you like, that works the way that you want it to work, that's you know, works in your climate, that works, you know, like I said, just to do what you want it to do, that's what to buy. You know, I'm not loyal to this brand. This is just what I happen to have. The Ranger Ink Oxides really intrigue me because of the different things that they're capable of doing. So when I purchase ink, I will probably be purchasing those, not this. So, and then last but not least, the Humble Stapler. You know, and this is just the regular, like, cheapest, most basic desk stapler that you can get. This happens to be a Schwinn line, you know, swing line. But, you know, it really doesn't matter which brand it is. You do want it to be quality, though. I have found that, like, the dollar store staplers really aren't worth it because they can only punch through, like, maybe 2 sheets of paper, and, like, that's about it. And you just end up having more trouble than it's worth. So go ahead and invest in a stapler. The tools that I would recommend that you invest the most money into getting started, scissors. Scissors would be my top of the list. Buy the most high quality cutting scissors that you can afford, because you will be cutting more often than not. And then second up would be the Crocodile Big Bite, and I highly recommend this one over the little one. As I just mentioned, my mother, I have a lot of supplies from my mother. One of those is this guy. the, oh, little cat floof came over with it. Sorry about that. Is this the We Are Memory Keepers, and this is just the regular Crocodile, and you can see it's old, it's beat up, I've used it a bunch, but I would not purchase this. I do not feel like this is worth the money to me. It's hard for me to hold and grip. I have a little bit of a grip problem, and so it's a little bit hard to grip. It's a little heavy, you know, to where this does all the same functions and some, as far as I'm concerned, because it does have this big bite here. Because see here, here's the hole punch, right? So here I'll line up this hole punch with it. And see, on this one, you've got that far. That's how far in you can put it in, to where on this one, you can bring it all the way into over here. So you can see how much, you know, the differences there would be, what you would be able to do with this one. Plus, this one's a lot easier, because once you get, you know, when you're using it, you know, you get everything all lined up, you know, and it's just sitting here, you're manipulating your book, you slide your book in, you hold it with one hand, and then you come up here and you punch with the other like this. And you can even do it with an elbow, you know, you can get some leverage, you can push down on it. So even if you're not a particularly strong person, you can still actuate this tool. Even when I'm having a bad day, you know, with my hands, weekday, I should say, not a bad day, a weekday, with my hands, I can still actuate this readily, to where this I cannot. This is just, it's on some days, this just, it almost hurts to pick up because it's so heavy for my hands. So yeah, first investment, good quality scissors. Second investment, because you don't want, if you're going to be making a lot of journals, because it allows your holes to be more precise. It allows a lot more flexibility on what you bind with, because the holes are cleaner, you know, and larger. And so you can use ribbon, you know, you can bind with ribbon. You don't have to just bind with some small thread. So, and then just from there, it's really just, you know, whatever, you'll figure it out at that point. You'll watch enough videos like this to figure out, you know, what are you going to use, you know, on how you construct your journals. But pretty much everybody that constructs journals has to punch holes at some point to bind it. And everybody has to cut, you know, their paper at some point. So, oh, you know what? I just thought of my number 10. So those were my 9. My number 10, and I can't believe I forgot it. Most used tool, the ruler. My handy dandy metal ruler. This is I think probably my most used tool. I can't believe I forgot about it. I really like this one in particular. I don't know if well you guys can really see that, but it has a little smiley face on it. It says, "Make my day." And it just, I don't know why, but it makes me smile. But it's the tearing ruler. I find that I use this quite a bit, almost as often as I use my scissors. And so what I look for, if I was going to go purchase these, would be thickness. You don't want a ruler that's super flexible. You want one that's got some rigidity to it. I mean, it does bend, it flexes, don't get me wrong, but it's not, you know, like one of them dollar store rulers where you can go like this and it's like all just bendy. You want it to have some rigidity so that you don't have to hold it down so hard to create your rips. Also, pay attention to the size of your ruler based on your journals. This 12-inch ruler I can use for like this size journal and smaller, you know, the 6x9-ish size. It works just fine for that. But when I do my big journals that are the full size, I do need to use this one, my 18-incher. And this one, it just sits over here on the side of my desk, just flat on the desk. Because I've tried hanging it up. My cats were playing with it, and I was worried that they were going to hurt themselves because it was hanging like this, you know, off the edge of my front edge of my bookcase off of a hook. And so it was swinging, and they were jumping up and grabbing it with their mouth and sliding on the edges. And so I was very concerned about that. So we just stopped that, and it just now lays on the desk. So yeah, so number 1 tool I almost forgot would be the ruler. Number 2, scissors. Number 3, big bite. Number 4, bone folder. Number 5 would be glue. Gotta have some good glue. Number 6, stapler. Number 7 would be some inks. And number 8, well, I guess I kind of numbered those wrong, but number 8 would be the Exacto, some sort of knife. Whatever type of craft knife that you're comfortable with. It doesn't have to be Exacto brand. It doesn't have to be Gordon brand. It can be the kind that, you know, you snap off that are flatter. I like these because you can get the different handles. And based on how my hand's feeling that day, I can use the fatter handle that I showed in the box, or I can use the skinnier handle. And then the numbers 9 and 10 would be my punches here, my corner punch and my thumb hole punch, as I think of it, even though it is actually a 1-inch hole punch. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what other types of videos like this that you would like to see. So thank you so much for joining me today. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you spending your time hanging out with me. And let me know if this type of video is something that you want to see more of, or if you want to just see the more crafting type videos.